What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have the Nashville International Airport Layover vlog from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on June 2nd, 2022. I hope you guys are excited for today's video, and with all that being said, let's begin. I have just arrived at Nashville International Airport after an incredible flight with American Airlines on their Airbus A321 in the Medal of Honor livery. Be sure to check out that leg of the trip if you haven't already. What a remarkable flight, to say the least. Let's get inside Nashville's Terminal C and see what it's all about, as we have not been here in 3 years and I am very excited, so let's get started. Alrighty everybody, welcome to the Nashville International Airport Layover vlog. Super excited to be back at Nashville. It has been quite some time since July of 2019, and there's a lot of awesome movements here at Nashville, so without any further delay, let's dive into them. We've just arrived here at Terminal C, and as you guys can see, there's a lot of awesome things going on. Super busy, and there's our flight with Breeze Airways on the big board right there with service to Tulsa following this, as we'll talk about in this video. So Nashville International Airport is absolutely incredible, to say the least, as you guys can already see by this footage. Keep in mind there's a lot of construction going on, as we'll see throughout this video, so it was kind of janky, but ultimately it is a really nice airport in normal times, and they are making it even better, as you guys can see right here. So here's a broad picture, and I definitely had a plan going into this. The plan did not go according to plan, as per usual with all my spotting outings and all that fun stuff, but nevertheless, I'm super excited to be back here at Nashville International Airport, pardon me, and man, it is going to be absolutely awesome. So let's dive into the details. So first and foremost, let's just start by looking at this picture. Oh my goodness, take a look at how busy Nashville International Airport is. This is super impressive. So Nashville International Airport, very popular airport, peaked at 18 million passengers in 2019, and just really impressive to see how busy it was here on June 2nd, 2022. As you guys can see, this was a big time for Southwest, of course, here in Concourse C. Big push with all the departures and everything, but it is still super impressive to see all of these passengers here in Nashville really getting after it, man. Lots of new routes, and very impressive to see this here for Nashville. Really nice with those pictures. So Concourse was fully full. It was really hard to get around in select areas, as we'll talk about through the design and everything, but let's dive into some applicable detail with Nashville International Airport, because ultimately there's a lot to the airport and it's just really busy, to say the least. So let's dive into some of those details. So we do have multiple concourses here at the airport: Concourse A, B, C, and D. So I guess technically it's actually one terminal with 4 concourses. So Concourse A houses United Airlines, some various others. I think Air Canada parks up there, and also some of the other flights as well. Not a complete expert with Nashville and couldn't find much online, so I'm sorry about that. But nevertheless, that is what parks up there at Concourse A. It's a nice pier. I think it's like 10 gates or so. So impressive there for Concourse A, and it's a nice area, to say the least. Concourse B houses Delta, now Breeze, but they also have some international carriers. I think WestJet parks at Concourse A too, but then you have Swoop over here, I'm pretty sure, and some of the other various carriers that they have too. So really impressive to see right here for Concourse B. This is where we'll be going to do our terminal spotting at, and they house about 13 gates or so there at Concourse B. We are currently in Concourse C, and this is housed by American Airlines, Allegiant, and Southwest, the big operators here. Lots of flights, especially for Southwest. I think they house about 12 gates or so, something along those lines. So very impressive right there. And then Concourse D is currently getting renovated, as far as I'm aware. I think that they have held some Southwest flights in the past, but I'm currently not sure what they're going to be housing going forward. So nice to see right there as well. They also have many parking garages and all kinds of fun stuff, and I have been in those before, and they are really solid. So very nice to see right there for Nashville as a whole. Really nice, to say the least. That's very impressive for them. They also have a very diverse route network, to say the least, to all across the United States, especially in the Midwest and especially the Northeast coast and Florida. Tons of destinations to fly to out of Nashville, which is super exciting. Lots of those served by Southwest, but you also find various other airlines that have been flying out of here, and they do a really good job with Nashville. As you guys can see, it is also a 4-runway design with a 2 center, 2 left, and 2 right, and also runway 3, 1, and 1, 3. So that's very impressive too. And they have a very rich history. I'd recommend looking into it if you're curious. But ultimately, it's had a really good run, of course, for Nashville. Definitely originating back there in 1921, and they've made a lot of great progress through World War II, and then obviously into the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. American Airlines had a huge hub right there at Nashville too, which was quite unique, to say the least. Missing that, to say the least. But Southwest came in, kind of took that over, if you will, and they've done a really good job with that, to say the least. That's been really cool. And again, like I said, they're currently renovating to make the airport even better, which is so exciting, and we'll see even more applicable information for Nashville as well. Tons of destinations you can fly to. Southwest Airlines has one of their largest establishments at Nashville. You also find a ton of flights from Allegiant Air as well. They have a really big operation nowadays here at Nashville, excuse me. You also find many flights from American, Delta, British Airways service to London Heathrow, which is really cool. United has a solid amount of flights, JetBlue too, so really cool. And then various other smaller airlines too, which is very impressive. Like I said, peaked at 18 million passengers and they're back on the rise. So Nashville ultimately really good setup, and they've done a really good job to say the least with Nashville. I've been very happy with it. I thought I'd give you guys some information on it. I know that this isn't the Nashville history video, but just a little bit, just so you guys can understand where this is coming from and what Nashville is all about. So very impressive to say the least. And let's dive into some of the applicable detail here with the photos coming into the concourse. Let's dive into those. Alrighty everybody, so welcome to Nashville International Airport. We have just landed on runway 2 center. I know we're backtracking a little bit, but trying to get you guys caught up to speed with the pictures and everything because there was quite a bit. So wanted to get that intro going there, and really excited for our spotting here at Nashville, and it was already getting really good, as you guys can see right here, just after landing on runway 2 center. So here's a massive FBO, as you guys can tell, multiple private jets, everything you'd want from Falcons to Learjets, excuse me, to Challengers, you name it, it is there. So that was really cool to see right after landing. And take a look at this global right here, November 119 Juliet. Very impressive to see that right there. I believe that's a 7500. That is really nice. And then the black G550 or G650 to 1 2. I think it's a 550. That was so awesome to see. We'll see that take off here in a little bit at that massive FBO, but that was really cool. I've never seen such a sleek Gulfstream before, so that was really cool to say the least, and that was absolutely awesome. Ignore the blurry pictures. Window spotting is not professional, to say the least. And then as you can see right here, we have a Flexjet Challenger 350. I'm sorry, I'm really excited because these are so cool. And it looks like a Falcon 50 right there as well, or Falcon of sorts 10. That may be a 10 or a 20, but it's one of those three, so very nice right there. Global's looking so nice, as you guys can see, and then that Gulfstream just super impressive. November 4525 Tango Mike. That is awesome. Another Flexjet there in the back, and a really nice FBO. That was really impressive. I was glad to see that. Some more Learjets and various aircraft. That was really nice for Nashville. That was very impressive to say the least. Crossing over runway 31 back to the ramp, as you can tell, I was trying to get as many good shots as I could of those airplanes because they looked really nice. And here's the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Heart livery arriving in. Beautiful aircraft, and the sun was kind of cooperating despite how the storms were getting going in the area, as we'll talk about here in a moment. Here we go in the Concourse C on the far east side. As you can see, Southwest owns this area, and it looks like they're actually at D too, so I apologize. They've talked about renovation on D, but it looks like Southwest is the operator out of there too. And on the east side of C right here, we have multiple airlines here too. Comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing a Nashville model airport at some point. It's definitely something I would be interested in, and I think it fits my fleet pretty well. So let me know if you guys like to see that. Here's November 566, November, a PSA CRJ 900 for American, another Southwest 737-700, the one that we just saw. Taxi in, it's November 935, Whiskey November. The beautiful flagship Valor winglet and some awesome lighting. Was really glad to get to see that moment, so that was really cool. Looks really good, and an 800 pushing back for Southwest. And it was really cool to get to see so many Southwest planes. I definitely was really happy to get to see even more of them, so that was really nice. American's A321 was pushed back. I believe this was a Charlotte or Dallas flight, and there's a Republic Embraer ERJ-175 for American. This was out to LaGuardia, I believe. And a really good shot back there, as you can see, of the renovation of the main landside concourse between concourses B, A, C, and D. So it was really nice to see them going to work on that, especially in this really hot, humid day for Nashville. So very much appreciate their work right there. That was impressive. I don't know if it's going to pick it up back here, but yeah, okay, I actually ended up trying to take a picture of it, but the WestJet Dash 8 was out and about, and unfortunately I missed it just by a few minutes and didn't end up getting many good shots of it. So RIP, but it was really cool to get to see WestJet. And American A321, some really nice lighting. I've seen plenty of these, but what can I say here at Nashville? And one of the main perks of the Sigma 18x300 lens, this is a prime example. A shot like this is not possible with a 75x300 while spotting, so this is one reason why I made this investment, was to get crazy nice shots like this from the concourse and also get the zoom in, just like, let me see if I can find a better example of that here in a moment. Allegiant down there on the first couple C gates, that's where they mainly park, so there's 323, and get shots like this is what I'm talking about. There's another Southwest taxi, and we'll see a lot of these, as you guys can see. Allegiant over there on the ramp hanging out, there it is, 316, and then we have more Southwest airplanes and plenty of applicable information with that 800 and that 700. The Southwest planes are everywhere, to say the least. The original 700 too had that, so really cool to get to see that. Then you got the American 737 here on the ramp that was hanging out as well, and there is Medal of Honor at the gate right there. What a pretty aircraft. It was so cool to just, that's awesome, man. I wish I would have got a better shot, but hey, it's okay. The gate was in the way and the lighting was kind of janky, so it happens to the best of us, but I can't complain. We have another couple clips to dive into next, so let's go dive into those and make it over to our next location, as we have another development going on, because there was a lot going on there. So I'll explain that in this upcoming clip, so let's get into that. Alrighty, so let's get into some plane spotting. So this was pretty interesting because I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to go because I haven't been to Nashville in quite a long time, and there was so many renovations and all kinds of movements going on that I honestly had no idea. So I was like, makeshift, we'll make it work, we'll see what happens. So the first thing I thought about doing was just to see what it looked like. I decided to go down to the edge of Concourse C to see what was going on down there, and I could watch some Southwest aircraft arrive and all the two center stuff taxiing and all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, that area was just absolutely loaded. There was no chance that I was getting into a window whatsoever over there. That was a lost cause, so I scrapped that immediately, and then I started turning around and walking the other way back over to the edge, which this was the kind of the original plan anyways, but the renovation completely messed up my original plan. So when I was here previously in 2019, the middle area that connected Concourse B and Concourse C was tied together, and it had a really nice window on it, and I hope they make the window even better when they reconstruct that. Unfortunately, that area was completely going under renovation. There was no chance of getting over there once I realized, so that's where the improvising really had to come into effect. So it was kind of janky to get over to Concourse B where the Breeze flight was going to depart, but I thought about this being the backup plan, that they had some decent looking windows over there on the edge. So I thought that hopefully Concourse B would have some decent spots to do some plane spotting, and it most certainly did, as we'll find out here in just a moment. So it was kind of janky to get over to Concourse B, as I'll take you guys through, but it was really neat. So typically you would be able to walk through the connector piece as I was just referencing over there and get over to Concourse B, but since that was closed, you actually have to go fully out of the airport and re-clear security to get in there, which is really weird. So that was definitely unique to say the least, but that is exactly what we did. So what I did from there was I ended up walking out, as you guys will see, onto the actual grass of Nashville on the arrivals, which was really cool. That was quite a unique experience to see all the renovation stuff from the outside. But we ended up going all the way out there, and then following that, we went back in and re-cleared security, which was quite a unique experience to say the least. So I have some really good footage coming up of this, and it was really cool to say the least, as you guys will see here in just a moment. I did want to share this one picture really quick before we get started with that though, and this is the ticker counter for Concourse C. As you guys can see, we got Allegiant. Alaska also flies out of Concourse C. I'm surprised Allegiant doesn't have more ticket counters. I'm sure they might, just not in this area. And then a good section for American, excuse me, and a really nice section all the way down there for Southwest, and it's much longer than that. It's like 10 times the size of that. So really nice to say the least. Looks really good, and quite frankly, we have quite a movement going on to say the least. So hope you guys enjoy this footage. It was really good, and I'm excited to dive into this, as this was quite a unique experience to get from one concourse to another. But honestly, it's really cool to visit any state and get the step on their actual grass, and this was really cool to say the least. So let's dive into those details.
Alrighty, so get over to A and B with all this construction going on. Have outdoor check. It's pretty damn humid. It feels good. We need to go over to Terminal A and B. That's what we're doing right now. But it's cool to step foot on Nashville. Not very happy that I'm going to have to waste forever, but look at this, man. So as you guys can tell, they're redoing the whole middle, which is very cool. And these boys are doing the work, man. They sure are. Look at that architecture. But yeah, this is kind of the plan, the vision to make it look nice. It was a little dated, but yeah, it feels great to be back. 73, that's incorrect. My watch kind of went AFK. I think it's like 80. It feels about like that. But it feels good. It feels great to be back in Tennessee. It's been almost 3 years, so great. Hope to explore more new states, but yeah, nice simple walk. There is United 175. But yeah, these were our gate will be, and yes, very exciting. So great to take a look at the architecture over here. Very cool. I think they're going to do a good job. And here's the North Terminal. This is where we need to go. So yeah, I have my boarding pass and all that, so we just need to, unfortunately, re-cure security, which was not a thing when this was under construction. I had no idea this was under construction, but yeah, whatever. There's the airline. Breeze is here. Perfect. And yeah, here's the area. Oh, this is But yeah, briefly step foot back on Tennessee land. And yeah, let's see how security is. It doesn't look too bad. It is like 1 o'clock, so just kind of about. We'll see. it'll take a little bit of time, but whatever. It's alright. Gotta get in there somehow with all this construction. Yeah, there's a couple, but that should be alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. Better than whatever's going on out there.
Alrighty everybody, as you guys can see, we made our way over from Concourse C to Concourse B, and there was quite a lot to look at to say the least, so let's take a look at this more in detail. So this is the full construction right here of the middle piece, which is really cool. You guys can obviously see those banners on the bottom too, so really impressive lineup up here, and I think they were doing a really good job. So huge shout out to the work crews. This is a big time job, especially in the Nashville heat, so awesome job. Really excited to see how this will do for Nashville, and I think this will look really cool in the future, so that was really nice to say the least. Very nice. Here's a really nice picture, kind of what the backside looks like over here for the drop-off area for Concourse A and B. Really nice for the most part. Obviously this I don't know when this was built exactly, but I think they have been working on it in the past, so quite a nice piece to say the least right here, and definitely very nice to say the least. So can't speak too much on it because I'm not sure what the final look will look like, but definitely looks really good to say the least right there. That's really nice. Here's another look at that check-in area. It was super busy, and man, I'm glad I did not have to stand in any lines. I don't believe Breeze had an actual area, so I'm pretty sure you would do only check bags in this case, but quite an interesting situation for Breeze there, and I'm glad that I wasn't having to sit in that Jet United and Spirit line because those were very long to say the least right there. Here's another really nice view of the concourse over here. I believe this is Concourse A looking north, so as you can tell, very nice and long concourse, and plenty of gates over there. They have quite a few restaurants and different things like that too, so if you're looking for something, you definitely got it made, and all the construction equipment was sure nice to see because it seems like every big airport in the United States is getting construction somehow, some way. We made it into the concourse, and here are some of the pictures to note from there. So here's our gate, Bravo 13, as right here we have the Breeze flight with Tulsa departing out at 2:55 p.m. We were slightly delayed, but nevertheless this was fine, and of course, as you guys can see by the time, we had well over an hour, about an hour and a half to do some awesome plane spotting, so I was very excited about that, and the terminal looked really nice, as we'll see here in a couple pictures coming up. So here's what the desk looked like too. It was really interesting because the corner piece is kind of where all the international flights go out, so I'm pretty sure Swoop, Air Canada, WestJet, all these guys park over here, so that's quite nice. And Frontier was over there too, but there's actually a JetBlue aircraft that ended up parking at gate B12 due to overflow, so these are all kind of common use gates besides the Delta ones, it seems like, so quite a unique setup for Nashville, and I think it's quite cool to say the least. Here's another look at that Delta Boeing 717 service out to Detroit, Michigan. This was really cool to get to see, as the 717 is an awesome aircraft, as you guys can tell. It was very nice to get to see that. You also got Medal of Honor in the background and a contour pushed back, as we will see pictures here in just a moment. Very nice. And there's another angle of it because I took two angles, and why not? So, and plenty of intervals to say the least. These L1 cumulus clouds are very common on days like this, especially with high humidity and all that fun stuff. So very nice to see that right there as well. Here's a screenshot of our flight coming in from Windsor Locks BDL Airport, which is really cool, excuse me. Pretty sure this is Bradley Airport. And this was another new route. I believe this was the inaugural service for Windsor Locks too. So it was really exciting, as Breeze has never been to Nashville before. And it was crazy that they ended up putting the cake on the return flight, which is quite interesting. I thought it would be the first inbound flight they would do the inaugural celebration for, but it wasn't quite. So actually, Akron Canton may have started the week before, so I could be wrong, but there was definitely a cake of sorts at Nashville for Breeze, so that was nice. Just not on my leg, which was quite interesting. I did not expect it to go like that, but you can't complain. So Breeze on the way in right there. And here's a really cool picture of Nashville's at the end on the far west side of Concourse B. As you guys can see, we have gates B9 through 13, and there's B10, 12, 13, 11, and the 9's on your right side. I believe 9's Delta, but it's quite cool to get to see, and just your typical, I know a lot of people know how the Midwestern airports, even some of the airports in the eastern regions like Nashville, have the low ceilings, and this just reminds me so much of that. It's a pretty big, it's not bad compared to what's been in previous times for different airports, and I'm not sure if Nashville is one of those examples or not, but as you can see right here, quite a nice roof and all that fun stuff as well. So we have some plane spotting to dive into, and I just want to let you guys know, if you guys don't care to see the infrastructure, the airports and everything, feel free to skip ahead to the plane spotting and all that fun stuff. I make these videos for you guys, so feel free to skip around and choose the portions you guys want to watch if you don't want to watch the whole thing, because I know you guys are super busy, and as a result, I don't want to take your guys' time if you don't want to see the infrastructure like this. So, but for people that do, here we go. So let's jump into the plane spotting. We have quite a few awesome planes to take a look at, and this is going to be a blast, so let's do this. Alrighty everybody, let's dive into the next round of pictures and welcome to Concourse B once again for like the third time, but this time we're doing some legitimate plane spotting, so let's dive into it. Delta Boeing 717 was serviced out to Detroit, Michigan. Really nice, and I never take these for granted, man. These are just awesome planes, and I love the look of the MD-95, the Mad Pup as you will. Very cool aircraft. At Bravo 5, you're going to find the Delta Airlines Boeing 737-900ER was serviced out to, this may have been a Atlanta flight, I'm not completely sure, but really cool to get to see this, and I ended up getting multiple pictures because of lighting, and as you can tell, the intervals were definitely playing their games. And then, I don't know if you guys can see it, it may have got cut off a little bit, but there's the United 737-800 in the background. That guy was probably out to Houston or something like that, but really nice Delta 737-900ER, as you can tell right here. Really cool, and a little bit of Photoshop on that Delta luggage cart right there will make that perfect. So love to see it, and just look at all that cool ground service equipment. You got the luggage loader, the cone back, multiple cones, excuse me, just all the GPU, everything that makes these planes run. And I love looking at that here in the apron, man. It's really cool, and we'll get more views of that here in a moment. Another nice shot of the Delta 717 over here from this side of the airframe. That's looking really cool, and then my beautiful Medal of Honor hanging out back there. That's awesome, man. That's a perfect backdrop. Really nice right there here at Nashville. Here's a nice picture of the construction. Just once again, huge appreciation to everybody going after that. They're doing a great job, and that's a massive project, so just huge kudos. That's awesome. Very proud of their efforts, to say the least. At Bravo 12, just like I said, this is like a common use gate, because not only did JetBlue park here, even though it has Frontier on the billboard, we also have Spirit's Airbus A320 with the IAE engines in the yellow Wi-Fi box with service out to somewhere. I don't know where it was going, but nevertheless, it was really cool to get to see this here. I really like these airplanes, and we'll get some better shots of it here in a moment, but this one was really good, to say the least, and I was satisfied. Here comes it, an Evo Blue United 737-800 with a mismatched engine cowling. Sorry, that was what I was looking for. Really nice aircraft and really cool. This is kind of the spot that I did some spotting from with the other piece of the Concourse. It was a similar angle from the BC connector, like I was talking about earlier. It was kind of a similar angle, but nevertheless, we did our best. I have no idea why I took a picture of the floor, but I did, so just disregard that. And here's a better picture of that 737-800 over there. Really nice aircraft at Alpha 7. And then here comes in the Evo Blue, heading over to the gate. And even though the toplit summers can definitely get a little annoying, you can still get some really good shots like this one. So I was very happy with that for United Airlines. And also feel free to let me know what you guys think about this live picture format on the preview application on the MacBook. I think it does a good job to show you guys all these pictures, and it does save me a lot of time, because man, it would take hours to edit all these, and I will at some point, just not at this time because of how far I am behind. Contour's Embraer ERJ-135 was getting pulled over. They have a really good establishment flying to cities like Indianapolis, and I think they fly to Greensville, Mississippi, and some different ones too, so nice to get to see these. I haven't got to see a ton of these in the past, so it was really cool to get to see this one right here. That was awesome. So very nice to see. Like their font on the engine too. That's really nice. So Contour heading out. I think that they had to pull him all the way up so he could start and not hit the building. And here comes that Continental Globe 737-800, and then of course you have this 737-800 in Evo livery. So nice to see that as well. Very nice. And here's some better angles. Nice. This is a nice, cool part of the apron. They definitely have room to expand, which is the good thing. Not all airports have room to expand, but there's a lot of apron room over there if they ever choose to expand. Another shot of the Delta 717, because yes. And then there's an Allegiant Air Airbus A320. And then I don't know if you guys will be able to see in the background here in just a moment, but yeah, there it is. That A320 was also landing despite the poor shots. But here's this A320-296 coming in, and there goes Contour, service out to wherever he was heading out to. You can tell that it was definitely getting a little stormy, and we'll see some better pictures of that here in just a moment. But nevertheless, these shots were still turning out really good despite all the heat haze and all that fun stuff. So yeah. And speaking of heat haze, that Spirit 320 definitely got the better of it. Sorry, let me go back. You can kind of see on the fuselage there but really cool shot right there. Unify, the ground service equipment company, also completely runs all these gates over here for the common use. I know Citrus Aviation is going to be huge on that. He'll probably leave a comment on it if he watches this video, but this was his company that he worked for Delta. But you'll mainly find these guys, as far as I'm aware, could be completely wrong before I say this, so I'll just note that these guys could be working for some of the mainline carriers too, but I'm pretty sure they mainly work for the low-cost carriers, at least at airports like Nashville and Tulsa. So here's another broad look at that ground service equipment, and I'm sure Citrus will give us the full details on that in the comments, so I'll leave it to him. Here's that Delta 737-900ER taxiing out, service out to Atlanta, I believe. And I love the downtown Nashville skyline. That was really cool to get to see. And they have some really cool, buildings down there. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I want to say business. They do have some businesses down there, but the Music City always goes strong, and that's what Nashville is known for, is all that country music and all the other music they have, pop culture and all that. So here we go with that Spirit 320 taxiing out. And again, really cool to get to see one of these with the yellow Wi-Fi box. I haven't got to see that before, so that was really nice. And a couple of planes taxiing out out for departure on 2 left. I'm pretty sure it was 2 left, so very nice. That is the final picture here. We have some more clips to dive into next, so let's dive into those.
Great to see so much chatter about the new route. Belt 739 over to... See? Oh, that's in the runway. I didn't realize it was so close. I'm not going to be able to get a great shot of that, so I think my best option is to go over to the runway to Delta. All right, gentlemen, one thing I have to say is if you're trying to save money, there's a couple of recommendations I have. But the first one is do not buy from those Hudson News and all of that. Not worth it at an airport. Like, I paid $4 this morning for a water bottle, and this whole meal right here, $9.60. Ridiculous.
Alrighty, everybody, into the next round of pictures. We have even more good ones in Nashville, man. It is so fun to spot in Nashville. I absolutely love it. And let's get started right here with the Allegiant Air Airbus A320 taxi in it, and then we have the Delta 717 as well hanging out right there. So that was definitely a nice piece, to say the least, right there. So not the best shots in the world, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And here's the Delta 737-900 rocketing off, service out to Atlanta. Very nice, as you guys can tell. And about to see here in some upcoming clips, the rain clouds were definitely doing their thing, to say the least. So very nice. Despite that, though, we're still able to get some really nice pictures like this one, the United 737-800 rocketing off. So really nice to get to see that aircraft. That was a fun one. So nice there, right there. And then we got a Southwest 737-800 blasting off with service out to somewhere. Southwest, huge establishment here. Got to see quite a few there building 737s, so can't regret that whatsoever. That was a blast. Here comes that Spirit A320. I mean, I really like the yellow Wi-Fi box, and I think it looks really cool. This still has the sketched out billboard titles. However, it only has the Spirit.com engine, so definitely a hybrid, to say the least, for Spirit trying to get to their new livery. But what can I say? And here's the American Airlines Airbus A321 in the Medal of Honor livery, rocketing out with service back out to Dallas Fort Worth. Such a beautiful livery, man. It was so cool to get to fly in on this aircraft and to get to watch it depart back home. What an awesome aircraft, and that shot would have been really good right there, but the focus, of course, had to do what it had to do, but we still got some very good ones. It was so cool, and the Medal of Honor livery is absolutely incredible. What a meaningful purpose. Feel free to check out that trip report if you haven't already, but man, that was awesome, and what a special moment as it blasts off, service back out to Dallas Fort Worth on this very nice June afternoon. Here's another picture of what the gate looked like right here. It was 1:51 p.m. at this point, and we got the service out to Tulsa here in about an hour time. So very nice to see that right there. That was awesome. And here comes the Southwest Airlines 737-700, as we saw landing earlier about an hour ago. This guy heading out on his departure flight, one of the original 737-700s, November 763 Sierra Whiskey. Very nice as it blasts off. And here's a really nice aircraft. This is a Hawker 800 XP, I think. It's an 800 or 400. But nevertheless, this was probably making some sort of really cool charter flight, which we really like to see it. And there we go, right here with this absolute unit of a Gulfstream. I think this is a G550, but it very well could be a G650. So what a beautiful aircraft. I mean, that is awesome. By far one of my best ever GA catches, and a really, really nice aircraft. Just take a look at that beautiful, absolutely stunning black paint scheme. That is awesome. And rocketing out with service out to wherever he may have been going on that particular day. What an airframe, such a nice airplane, and quite a unique one, to say the least. That was awesome to get to see in Nashville. Very impressive. Delta 717 pushing back, and then you got the American Embraer 170 in the back right there too, which is looking really good. Not the best picture from across the window, but what can I say? Kind of fun to get to see pictures like that every now and then. And then, as you know, I've obviously run over there to get the pushback shot because it's a mad pup. What can I say? You got to get over here when you can. Not to mention, take a look at both of those American Eagle Embraer 170s right there in the background, 175 and a 170. So that was pretty impressive. And you had a 737 on the ramp right there. It was interesting to see American holding those at airports like Nashville. And in the back right there, you got that that was the Global, and then a Southwest Air too. So pulling him up for the engine start too. Very precautious measure here done. So very nice. This is actually not a CRJ 550. This is actually a SkyWest CRJ 700 in the Evo Blue livery. I've not seen many of these before, so it was really cool to get to see this right here. So here's the SkyWest CRJ 700. This guy was probably pulling in from Houston, I think is where they were flying these from. So really nice to get to see that right there. Stunning airplane. It looks really, really nice, to say the least. Very nice. And there's the United 737-800 along with an absolute unit of this cumulonimbus cloud. What a unit this thing is, man. There's a lot of cumulonimbus clouds that form in the summer, and this was a prime example example, what one looks like. This was entering the mature stage, it would appear to be, and just absolute unit right there, pouring some rain onto the north side of Nashville. So really, really nice cloud right there, and made a really nice backdrop right over here by Terminal A and B. So nice to get to see that, and what a unit that is, to say the least, of that cumulonimbus cloud. That's very impressive. Here comes another Contour Embraer ERJ-135 flying in. Again, they flew several of these in, so it's really nice to get to see this one landing right here on 2 left. So that was impressive. Here's a shot of what the apron looked like. As you can see, more cumulus clouds and just ultimately quite a nice contrast to the cirrus cumulus clouds and some blue sky to go along with it. Allegiant Airbus E320 making it in some extreme heat haze, but it was nice to get to see it from across the apron. There's another beautiful shot of the United 737-800 in the Evo blue paint scheme. And there's the CRJ 550, or sorry, this is 700, used to them being 550s. This guy was parking at Alpha 2 coming in from Houston, I believe. So nice to see that. Maybe it was Chicago or Denver too, but one of those three. So nice to see that, but probably Houston if I had to guess. Nice to see that right there, and getting plenty of shots of the Uniteds. Here's that Contour Embraer ERJ-135. They park at gate B4 here at Nashville, and as you can tell, they have the connector piece blocked off on the ramp due to the construction. So nice to see the Contour right here, and they have a really good establishment here in Nashville, so you love to see it. I really like their livery, and I think they're doing pretty well. It's nice to see him parked up and docked up right there at Bravo 4. Very nice. And then you got the United 737-800 finally pushing back after getting plenty of shots of that beautiful airplane. And here goes an Endeavor CRJ 900 for Delta 195 Papa Quebec. So it's probably out to LaGuardia or JFK, something along those lines. Not exactly sure where they were flying this aircraft, but it's nice to see him push back. I think this may have been a New York flight if I recall, but nevertheless, nice shots right here despite the overexposure. And there's a really nice shot right there getting the clouds in with the action, and you love to see it. Here comes an American Eagle Embraer ERJ-175. This guy's probably back out to LaGuardia, Reagan, or Philly would be my guess. Doubt it's Charlotte, it might have been, but never know. And then of course you got a citation back there. Don't know if it's coming up on the screen. I hope it is, but the citation was also landing in, and then nice hill backdrop too. And here comes Breeze Airways Embraer ERJ-190 in from Windsor Locks. This would be our ride for the next trip port, as you guys will be seeing coming soon, November 110 Bravo Zulu. What a stunning aircraft this was to see Breeze at Nashville. So cool, and quite a unique city for Breeze to start into, but I think they're going to do really well with it, and I think they have so far. So here comes the Breeze Embraer ERJ-190 in from Windsor Locks Bradley. And there's the Allegiant Airbus E319 once again, and this guy was pushing back. And there's the JetBlue Airbus A320 that I was referencing earlier in the Breeze in the background too. So not the prettiest shot, but unfortunately there was so many people in the gate area, mainly for the JetBlue and Delta flights, not particularly the Breeze flight, but so many people in the area, I could not get back to the far window to get a better picture. So I did the best I could, but man, they filled up B. It was really empty to start with, but man, as all these Delta flights started coming in and all the other carriers, they started loading them up, and this JetBlue Blueberries, excuse me, example was a prime example of that. And here comes the Breeze Embraer ERJ-190 with quite an interesting backdrop in from Windsor Locks. And you got the backdrop there too. Pretty good considering that was through the window. And here she is docked up at gate Bravo 13. Very nice. Really love to see it. And such a pretty aircraft arriving in for Unify here, the gate B13 service in. And then you got the United 737-800 taxiing out with his service. So very nice to see that right there. And you'd love to see it. So Breeze looking super sharp right there. And we were getting ready to get on board, but we still had a little bit of spotting to do before then. So here's another good shot of the CRJ right here, all docked up, ready and loading up. So love to see it right there for United. And then following that, we had an Alaska aircraft landing in from Seattle. This was the 737-900ER, and it sucks I couldn't get a better shot of it, but it was still nice. And now at gate B8 takeover, we have the SkyWest Embraer ERJ-175. I'm assuming Minneapolis here, but this could have been Salt Lake City. I would think they would have Salt Lake City here at Nashville. So one of those two destinations for him most likely. So glad to see SkyWest there too. That's really nice. And there we go, getting the tug on the Breeze Embraer 190. You love to see it. Huge shout out to our ramp crew once again. They're doing a fantastic job. And we just boarded, and here's the JetBlue Airways Airbus A320. He's making it out here right now, so you love to see it. And a really nice angle right here with the Sigma 18x300 lens once again. So really nice boarding experience. We'll get back into some clips in the concourse, but I did want to show this because it's a nice angle and kind of a follow-up to what we had earlier. So we'll get back in, get all boarded up, and then we'll get back out here for the taxi out shots, as we had some really good ones here during the Nashville Layover vlog. So let's get back into the concourse and get that rolling from here. Alrighty guys, so let's dive into the taxi out pictures. So we have some really good ones to come, and if you were liking what you were seeing with the Breeze Airways pictures and all that, be sure to stay on the lookout for the Breeze Airways Embraer ERJ-190 trip report from Nashville to Tulsa, because it was absolutely incredible and it was so much fun to try out Breeze Airways. So definitely stay on the lookout for that. But here we go, loading up right here. Again, huge thank you to our ramp employees. They do an incredible job. And there's a better shot of the JetBlue Airbus A320 with the blueberries tails. Nice look right there. Here comes the Boston Celtics JetBlue Airbus A320. Really cool to get to see this aircraft. We get some many better shots here in just a moment. That was such a pretty plane, and actually had to sit on the ramp, and that came out. It came in huge clutch due to the amount of gates that were took up at Concourse B, which was crazy. So here goes that contour. Speaking of which, Embraer ERJ-135 out to Indianapolis, which was another cool route in the contour network. And here comes the Spirit of, I believe this was Seattle, Delta 737-900. Bad shot right there, but we'll get a good one here in just a moment. So as you guys can tell, thunderstorms in the area, but huge props to ATC, Nashville International Airport, and everybody for getting us out here, because it was very much appreciated and it all worked out very well. And yes, the Spirit of Seattle making it in there too. Very nice with the scimitar winglets. Put you back right here with some nice light, to say the least, and there's that cumulonimbus cloud once again looking good as it moved off to the east in this case, which was pretty nice. And there's that Spirit of Seattle Delta 737-900ER. This guy was getting fully loaded coming in from probably Atlanta, if I had to guess, once again, but very nice to see that right there. Beautiful aircraft, and that is a really nice plane. So that was really nice, and huge shout out once again one final time to all of our ramp employees for doing an incredible job, and all of the workers back there on the renovation on the Nashville concourse and everything. Just huge, and everybody that works indoors too. Huge thank you. You guys make this happen, and that's why this is absolutely incredible, to say the least right there. Concourse A kind of opened out completely once everybody moved. There is a Cape Air Cessna. I think that's a 208 over there, so that was nice to see that right there. Pretty interesting to say the least, but very nice right there. Or the Caravan's not, the Caravan's a 206. I'm pretty sure that may be a 208 or some sort, like a 400 variant, maybe some sort of Cape Air Cessna right there. So that was nice to see right there. That was awesome. So there it is right there. Oh, lonely at Concourse A. All the United flights were out, but man, we got super lucky with this JetBlue Boston Celtics Airbus A320. This guy just finished landing and he had to hold over here, and we were very lucky. Speaking of which, Lucky Blue is the aircraft name of this aircraft, to get to see this unit right here in Nashville. This is such a beautiful plane. Got some great lighting on it too, and it's really cool with the hill and everything back there. That was awesome. And I've never got to see the Boston Celtics. Got to see the Red Sox and all kinds of other JetBlue liveries, but never the Celtics. So that was so awesome to get to see that. It's a really pretty livery. Love the green fuselage. Quite a unique livery, to say the least. And that was really cool. This guy's nonstop service in from Boston or JFK. I'm not sure which one, but that was awesome. Really cool. And such a beautiful pitch right there. That was awesome to get the capture. Embraer also has a really cool facility at Nashville. I'm not sure if you guys knew about this, but there's been Virgin Australia aircraft, excuse me, not Atlantic, but Virgin Australia aircraft over here all the time. 3 years ago when I came, they were here, and the 190s are back here again today. So that was really cool to get to see, to say the least. So there is a two 190s right there, one on the left, one on the right. So that was very impressive. And I'm sure they do all kinds of overhauls and different things. Looks like there's a United in the hangar back there, so that's really cool. So very nice to get to see that right there, and quite a unique lineup. So that's really cool to see here in Nashville. Quite a unique circumstances. But yeah, don't get to see a Virgin Australia Embraer 190 every day, so that was really cool and very nice. I love that. And then here's the cargo ramp. This is on the west side of the airport. Yes, that's correct. And here's some FedEx aircraft. Sorry about the bad pictures. And there's some sort of Black Hawk, but, and then Primer also has a big establishment going. So there's 737. I'm telling you guys, Nashville would be a cool model airport. You know, there's not like a crazy amount of variety, but there is a good amount for it, considering how small the size it is with the British Airways flights and all that. And even SkyWest has a hangar here at Nashville, which is really cool. And I can see a little Delta tail peeking out right there. So that's really nice to get to see that too. Here's the Southwest 737-800 rocketing out once again, a little bit backlit at this point. And there's the Primer 737. Not the best shots in the world, but really nice ground service equipment. And yeah, love to see them getting loaded up, especially during the day. Here are the final couple shots right here with the JetBlue. So as you can see, we got this one, and this one. So really nice. And I'll actually just take this into the outro right here so I can show you guys some various pictures once again. So thank you guys so much for watching the Nashville Layover vlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Nashville is a phenomenal airport. I really hope we get visit again soon. 2 hours was not near enough, but nevertheless, I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Nashville. It's a great airport, and I definitely hope to be back for a third time in the upcoming future. So be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Speaking on staying on the lookout for things, be sure to stay on the lookout for that Breeze Airways Embraer ERJ-190 trip report to continue this trip, as it was so awesome. And as you guys can already get some sneak peeks, it was such a blast. So definitely stay on the lookout for that. It was absolutely awesome, and Breeze Airways is an awesome airline, so be sure to stay on the lookout for that and all the upcoming content from this trip as well. But yeah, lots of awesome things to come. I hope you guys are excited for it, so definitely stay on the lookout for it, and I just cannot thank you guys enough for watching. It was such a cool airport and quite a unique situation, to say the least. Again, it was so much fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So with all that being said, that will do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.